So the first card you have for your past is the Emperor. Yes, I think this is about something rigid you're involved in, something that had a lot of rules around it, something that you felt restricted in, and you wanted to break out. I am seeing a kind of breaking out of something, or wanting to break out of something. I'm seeing escaping as well, wanting to escape the same thing day after day, the same thing every day, the same routine. You wanted to get out of something like that, but maybe you didn't quite know how you were going to do that, or even if you really truly wanted to do that. I think you I think you could probably also see a lot of risks around doing that. You're kind of weighing it up, saying, oh, could I do this? No, there are too many risks. Or would I really like to, but I don't know if I can. Was that kind of thing going around and round in your head, maybe? And I think this might be something around work, because I'm seeing a lot of rules. I'm just getting this feeling of being on someone else's timetable, or having to follow what someone else wanted you to do. You wanted to follow what you wanted to do. And maybe there was someone, might have been a friend, that maybe they might have already done what you were thinking of doing. They might have started their own business or something like that. And I think you might have been secretly wishing you could do the same or something similar. Not exactly the same business or whatever, but something that was yours, something that you had for yourself, where you could do what you wanted to do. And I think you did have responsibilities, and you had the weight of these responsibilities and this is what might have been stopping you as well. Maybe this friend, or whoever this was, didn't have many responsibilities, or even any responsibilities, or that's what you thought anyway. Or maybe they didn't have anyone depending on them. Maybe you did. And I think this is going to be on your mind for a while. I don't think this is going to be a little thing that gets in your mind and goes away. I think it's going to stay there. But the Emperor can be about logic, clear logic, like right and wrong, good and bad, very kind of rigid thinking. So it might be that this kind of rigid thinking that's stopping you. You might be thinking, either I stay in my job and do that and that's it, or I jump out of that, do this business, take this great big risk. It might go right, it might go wrong, and I'm really afraid because it's either one or the other thing. You might have that kind of thinking. But you don't have to totally stop what you're doing now to start something new. You can stay where you are. You can build something else up on the side. People do that all the time. There's nothing wrong with doing that. I mean, lots and lots of people do that. And it probably is easier for this person, this friend, or whoever this was, than it would be for you to do this, because I think you do have more responsibilities than them. I think you're right about that. But that doesn't mean it's impossible. So if this resonates, definitely don't give up on this, because I can see this is something you really like. It's in your mind. So keep on thinking about this. Maybe start planning. Write down some notes about whether you'd like to, how you'd like to do this, what you'd actually like to do, what this would look like, what this would sound like, how you would go about this, all of that kind of thing. And also don't be too proud to ask this person for advice either, because I think they'd actually love to help you. They'd be surprised that you'd ask them for advice, because I don't think you do ask many people for advice, but they would be surprised, but they would be honoured. They'd love to help you, actually. They really would. So, if you want to know some answers to things, they're the perfect person to ask. That's what I'm seeing. So the next card you have for your past is the Star. So I'm getting this feeling of someone admiring you, and maybe this is someone who you might have been out of contact with for a while, and then they came back into contact with you again. It might be something like that. I think this person might have had a lot of hope that they could build up either a friendship or a relationship with you. I am seeing love around this, so maybe they wanted to start off as friends, but maybe in the back of their mind they were thinking, oh, maybe I could have more with them. Maybe they wanted more. They definitely thought you were attractive, like this beautiful woman on this card, and they probably still do think you're very attractive. I think, well, you are attractive, of course. I think you might have been standing back a bit from this, or trying to make sure you had your feet on the ground. You didn't want to get carried away with this. And I think you knew that this is how this person was feeling towards you. You could pick up on that, even though they might have just been friends with you at this time. Because this woman has one foot in the water, but she has the other foot on the ground, on the earth. So maybe, you just didn't want to get carried away on your feelings. You wanted to keep one foot on the ground. Especially if this was someone from your past that you had a history with. I don't know if you've had a relationship with this person before. You might have. But this, if you did, this might have been one of the reasons why you wanted to keep your feet on the ground and not get carried away with them. And you were feeling a little bit unsure, I'm seeing. And I think you were taking things very slowly, even friendship. But I'm seeing that they had hope with this star in this card. They definitely had hope that there'd be more between you. And they probably still do have that hope. That's what I'm seeing. So the last card you have for your past is the Five of Pentacles. Yes. So yes, this is how this person was feeling for a long, long time when they were separated with you, when they're out of contact with you. Now, they wouldn't have told you this. They probably told you that they were fine, they were busy, they had a fantastic life, everything was great, they were going out, having fun all the time and all of that. Of course, they weren't going to tell you that they were sitting there upset, pining, thinking, oh, why aren't I with this person? I'm looking at their social media every day, checking to see if they're with someone else, seeing what they're doing. Oh, of course they weren't going to tell you that, because that sounds a little bit pathetic, and you probably wouldn't have wanted to talk to them again. You would have thought, oh, that's really clingy, that's terrible. This person was kind of crazy and watching me every single day, and it's creepy, actually. And they knew that. So of course, they're not going to tell you that. They're going to say, oh, I was having fun, I wasn't thinking about you, and oh, I just happened to be thinking one day, and I saw this one day, it just popped up on my news feed or something, and then I thought, oh, I wonder how they are. So I thought I'd say, hi, how are you? That kind of thing. And but they're not weird and creepy, so don't think that. It's just that they were very, very, very upset when they first separated from you. That's what I'm seeing in this card. Now, and they wanted to give you a good impression. They didn't want you to know all of this. But I think they were seeing this contact with you now that they had with you as some kind of a step up, if that makes sense. They weren't in a relationship with you yet, but they were hopeful. But at least they had contact with you. And to them, that was like a step up for them in their mind. And they didn't want to mess things up. They didn't want to go too far. They didn't want to scare you off. They didn't want to say, oh, I love you so much. They were just kind of, oh, hey, it's great to be your friend. Really nice talking to you. Well, I've got to go. I'm busy. Let's talk another time. And then they come back and talk another time. So they wanted to keep you around. They wanted to be with you. But I think you were sensing that they did find you attractive. I think you kind of knew that. So the first card you have for your present is the Five of Wands. So yes, okay, so this person might be hiding a little thing from you. Now, don't be afraid. They're not hiding a great big terrible thing. They're not a murderer. They haven't done anything terrible. They're hiding a bit of their mess from you or something like that. I always see mess in this card. I'm not seeing anything bad. Once again, I'm not seeing anything serious or terrible, but they might have made a few mistakes in their life, and they probably did that since they were first around you. Now, they're not telling you this obviously, because they're definitely doing everything they can to make a good impression on you, even if it's subtle, even if they're not talking to you very much. Again, they're not bothering you, they're not messaging you all the time, just every now and again. And, they don't want to scare you away. They're being really careful around you. That's what I'm seeing. And I think if you do end up spending more time with this person, if things do progress between you, I think they will eventually open up about these things, about this mess, and they will tell you. I'm just getting this feeling of, they just want to be their best for you. They want to show you their best. So of course they're not going to show you this right now, but don't be afraid. It's not anything terrible. So the next card you have your present is the Queen of Swords. So again, I'm getting this feeling that you're not showing that much emotion at this time. Now, maybe you did once. Maybe when you were with this person in the past, you had a lot of emotion for them and you showed it to them. You gave it to them freely. motorbike. When you were kind of around this person, you really did give a lot to them, and then you separated or whatever, and now you're kind of talking again. So that emotion you had is all kind of behind you now. You still do have some feelings, I'm seeing that, but again, you're not getting carried away. They're very small. There's a little kind of tiny stream of water just behind this Queen's throne, just where that tree is, just behind. It's very tiny, this little blue stream of water. And obviously that means emotion, and that emotion is behind this Queen. So this is what the emotion you had for them is behind you. It was what's happened in the past, and it's very small, so you still have a tiny bit of feeling for you. That's what I'm seeing now. Now, yeah, you're taking things very slowly. Even if you're just friends, you're still taking that very slowly. Just like this Queen, she has clarity about things. She's very cautious. She's been through a lot of things, so she doesn't want to get caught up in things again. And I'm also seeing that your mind, I think I'm also seeing you getting some clarity around this thing that you wanted to do to escape from something. This is something work related again, and I think things might be starting to become a little bit clearer in your mind. They're starting to take shape in your mind. You're starting to form ideas around this, and again, I'm seeing that a lot of people come to you for advice, like they do to this Queen of Swords. She sees things very clearly, so people like to come to her and ask her about their problems. So you're able to do that. You're able to cut through problems. You're able to get to the point quickly, and I think you also have a way of expressing things that other people can understand very easily. But now I think it's time for you to ask for help yourself, ask for advice. And I think this might be hard for you to do. I think you're a little bit proud, for one, and I think you might not feel comfortable with the idea of other people helping you or knowing your business or something like that, knowing what your plans are. But I think this is really worth it to ask this person for help. I think they have some really useful information that'll be perfect for you. And also, they're doing what you like to do. They're doing what you like to do. So ask them, how did you get to that point? How did you do that? How did you get over this? How did you ask them? They're there, they're ready to help you, they're ready to answer you. You don't have to struggle through all of these things by yourself. You have someone who's already been there who can help you, so you don't have to take the long road. You can take the short road, but you just need to you just need to ask them for help, not help. You just need to ask this person for help, and they'll help you. So don't be too proud. Please don't. The last card you have for your present is, oh gosh, that's so noisy, go away. The last card you have for your present is the Knight of Cups. So I think maybe this person in the Star card might have actually hurt you once at one time, and maybe this is why you're being so cautious. I can understand why that is. Now, the Knight of Cups can be a little bit he can be a little bit of a player sometimes, actually. Not always, but sometimes he can be a sort of a fantasy kind of a person. Like a knight in shining armour that's a bit too good to be true sometimes. Someone who breaks people's hearts. Someone who looks really attractive. They dress really beautifully. They're wonderful. They come and tell you everything you want to hear. And then they kind of disappear. Now, I'm not saying this is exactly what this person did, but I'm saying that there's some hurt around this. You were hurt by this person. So, if this resonates with you, of course you're right to hold back. Of course you're right to take things slowly. And I know a lot of people say, oh, if they hurt you, move on. If someone hurts you, move on. Don't see them, don't talk to them ever again. And that works some of the time. Of course, that's really good advice. You don't want to be hurt again, of course. But in this situation, there are feelings there between both of you, and if there weren't feelings there, you would have already moved on, but you haven't. That's what I'm seeing. You're still there, you're still talking to them, you still have that little bit of feeling for them. Now, in relationships, each individual is different and each situation is different. I think it is good advice to say move on, of course it is, but different things are right for different situations. And, I think whatever happens, don't feel pressured into making a decision quickly. That's what I'm seeing. I know they're trying to be patient. I know they're trying to kind of listen to you. You're going slowly. Deep down, I think they'd really like to offer their love to you, and they'd like to rush in a lot faster than they are. So again, if this is all resonating with you, definitely take your time. Let your instincts guide you. Don't let them or anyone else, whether it's them saying, oh, come into a relationship quickly, or whether it's somebody else saying, leave them totally, don't talk to them ever again. Listen to yourself and listen to your own instincts. That's what I'm seeing in that card. So the first card you have for your future is the Four of Swords. So I'm actually seeing someone else who might be hesitating to come toward you as well. I think someone might be thinking about asking you for a favor or something like that, actually. I think they might have even gotten themselves into some kind of trouble, or they've gotten themselves into some difficult situation or something like that. This is the kind of person that gets themselves into a lot of these kind of situations, so that might give you a clue as to who this is. Now, this person's hesitating. They might be feeling a lot of regret. They might be feeling even guilty about something. Now, I think they know you care about them, or you used to care about them. I think you still do, but I think you used to care about them a lot. They're hesitating right now at this time. And if you think you know who this is, get ready for some communication from them. And they might ask you for some kind of help. I'm not sure if they deserve this help or not. It's up to you to decide, of course, but because I'm getting this kind of little question mark around this, it might be something that you might want to think about, whether you think they do or not. They do feel guilty around something. They do feel really, really stressed around something. But again, prepare yourself. If you know who this is, if this is resonating with you, if this sounds like someone that you know, be prepared for someone to contact you and ask you for some kind of help. That's what I'm seeing. The next card you have for your future is the Sun. Beautiful, beautiful card. So this can be about breakthroughs, because the child on this horse has obviously broken through this wall, this barrier. And I'm seeing some relief in this card. I think you might be finally finding a way forward, a way to be able to pursue this thing, this business, or whatever this is in the Emperor card. And I'm seeing a lot of really nice, fun things around this, actually. I'm seeing some fun ideas, creative ideas. You might be sitting there, on your phone or with a pen and paper and coming up with a lot of really fun ideas around this. I think this is something that you feel really happy about, really excited about. You probably still have a long way to go before you actually start this thing properly. But the feeling I'm getting around this is miles away from how you're feeling in the Emperor card. You had a lot of doubts in the Emperor card, and now I'm seeing that you don't have many of those doubts. You might still have some, but you're feeling, this is a million miles away from that. And of course, you're still not going to be happy. You're not going to be happy in the position that you're in, this job or whatever this is that you don't like. But the optimism and the knowing that that this is a real possibility, that you can do this, is going to make things feel a lot more bearable when you are basically going through the days in that job, because there's a way out. And really, if this is resonating with you, staying in a job while you work on something else, a business or something else, while you build something else up, is a perfect position for you to be in. You have the security of where you are, you have the money coming where you are, and you have this new thing that you're working on. You're not jumping straight into the new thing where you have no security, but you're not kind of stuck in your job where you don't have anything new to go into either. Plus you have the security of that, you have the money of that. And so you're in a perfect position, you really are at this time. So think, if you ever start to get down about your job, or you start worrying about, not having security in this new thing, think about the position that you're in, and that you're in a perfect position and you're working on it, you're getting somewhere. So just think about that. And I think you will be able to see that. This is a really positive card. So you are seeing a lot of positivities in everything at this time. The last card you have for your future is, yes, the Tower. You have the Tower card right after the Sun card. I know, this is crazy. This is the way this turned out. So yes, I'm actually feeling a lot of anger around this. I'm feeling a lot of anger. I'm feeling a lot of upset around this card. You might get caught up in some kind of an argument with someone. And this isn't just an argument. It might actually be the end of the road between you and someone else. You might just say, right, that's it. They've crossed a line. That's it. I'm finished with them. It might not happen like that, but it is going to be, right. It's going to make you feel like that. So, I'm just seeing someone trying to push you just that little bit too far. And I think you've been here before with this person. So that's why you're kind of really, you're being pushed right to the edge. You've argued with this person before. And I think the thing is, you're just not going to trust them this time. It's like, that's it with them. I actually think this might be about this person in the Four of Swords, and maybe they do need help, but I think the way that they're going to approach you might give you the impression that they think that you have to do things for them, or they just expect it, or you're just there to do things for them. Now, I think this is what's going to really get your back up and really start this anger in you. And I don't want to be negative, but there probably will be some fallout from this, from you either saying no to them or either having this argument with them. You're probably going to do both, actually. So when they come away from this conversation or this argument, they might even tell some other people some one-sided stories or some gossip or something about this whole thing, and it's not going to be true. So just be prepared for that as well. Be prepared for the fallout. Be prepared for what they might do. Now, whatever this conversation is about, it's obviously very serious, because I don't think it's in your nature to argue or even raise your voice even a lot of the time. So this has to be really serious for you to do this. And again, I don't want this to be negative at the end, but this is how it came out. And, at least I hope it prepares you, if this resonates with you, so you'll be ready for this when it comes to you. Yeah, that's all I really have to say about that.